Hello and welcome. This video is to announce that version 2.5 of the Pit fan mod has officially been released. You can pick it up on the Pit wiki. I will leave a link in the description. But do note that there's a 32 and 64-bit version now, so pick the one appropriate for you. So what's changed? Well, first off, and one of the largest changes, is that there are two new difficulty levels. Ludicrous is even harder than Seriously. And I primarily added this because overall the Pit makes the game easier, or the mod makes the game easier. So if you want to get back to that old school challenge, you might want to try this. But if you think the Pit's too hard, and you don't like RNG that much, you might want to try Beginner. Not only do you get more props per level and easier enemy spawns, but the biggest change is that failing a craft doesn't destroy your ingredients. It'll waste 2 charges from whatever lab or cooker or whatever station you're at. But then you can pick up those items, take them to the next station, and try again. Let me open up a couple saved games here to demo a few more things. To those of you who died to the something, my apologies. He was already in the game, and I just added him and left him as the developers had coded him, but he puts a level 9 disease on you, and he can walk too, so he was largely instant death, because from level 9 you get unconscious, and then you go to level 10 and you're just dead. So now he moves only one space at a time, and he gives level 8 disease. However, he is a pervert, and he will probably try to throw his junk at me. Come on. There you go. The other change I wanted to show you from this save is that the Shepherd now has a usable inventory size. He's got the same size that the Lich has. Moving on. Okay. So there's quite a few more changes. The next really big one is that engineering as a whole has just been removed from the game. Any recipes that used engineering have been transferred to mechanical, electronics, or computers. Any props, the same thing happens. And any devices that affected engineering have had those effects change. For example, the Duhanulator will increase your mechanical skill instead. The Googleplex goggles, it just had that portion of it removed. It's already plenty powerful. Yeah, that's it, I think, for engineering. But that alone opens up many new recipes, I would say. The engineer and the striker have also had their skills buffed, since, they have extra points in engineering, and since that's being removed entirely, their mechanical, electronics, and computers have been buffed accordingly. What else? Well, I can go through some of these items here. Here we have the Shadow Step, which previously did nothing, and it would drop really late from the Mothmen. But now, should you put it on, you'll see that you get stealth, or rather cloaking. It's not full invisibility, it's more limited than that. It's basically the same effect that the Assassin has. But because of that, it's actually quite useful. There's now a bone spear that you can craft from a bone dagger. There is a crossbow that you can use. It uses heavy darts. But heavy darts are now craftable. In fact, darts are now craftable as well. So you can take rifle rounds, use them to craft darts. From darts, you can craft heavy darts. So should you get stuck with that poon gun, you at least would have a way to feed it if you didn't just want to throw it on the ground. Note that the heavy darts stack much better too. The cryo rod, just a small change. It was using the wrong skill before, so now it uses the spear skill as it should. There's also a short bow, also uses heavy darts. So both of these bows are single shot weapons. But the crossbow, you can see, has a ton of damage and penetration. So it's a good opener, or just a great efficiency weapon, kind of like a sniper rifle. The short bow doesn't do nearly as much damage, but it reloads in one turn, and it drops a lot earlier in the loot tables. Let's see, what else do we have here? The Exoheart has been nerfed. It was giving 1,500 turns of food, which it seems way too much for me. Originally, when this got added, it gave something like 30 turns, and then they buffed it, so it gives you 600 turns now, which seems more fair. The Squawker Drone now increases your vision radius. Let's see. Originally, it was basically only useful for things that would spawn behind you, so now that that's gone, at least it has a use. The Filtration Mask now actually has durability, which is nice. It won't instantly die from one grenade. What else? Okay, all of these grenades are now craftable. They are craftable from their corresponding mine trap, or their corresponding trap, and all of these traps are now craftable from relatively easy to get ingredients. The corrosive ones are actually useful. Like, all these are actually useful now. The Disruptor Grenade will basically completely remove someone's psi, so you could actually use it on a spellcaster, and they would no longer be able to cast spells. And all the corrosive grenades and traps will remove some of that target's armor class rating. And this does mean that you can now craft a teleport trap, which teleport traps are very useful. There's another bug fix. So that annoying sound that doors make every turn when you apply a dot damage should now be removed. You can see, normally it would go tink, 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 tink there, but it doesn't. And, okay, let me just check my list here, making sure I'm not missing anything. Ah, yes, Psionics. So you're at a time where you get to have your cake and eat it too. I have to make some changes before I can remove duplication and metabolic control without causing existing save games to crash. So for now I've left them in, but next update those will be gone. In their place will be clone. And you can see how clone will work here. What it does, get a little bit closer here so people can see, is it creates a copy of you. Same armor class, same hit point count, but it's mindless. It'll just sit there. However, when you cast it, all the enemies that were targeting you have a very good chance of targeting that instead. They'll basically regain their target, so if this thing's closer, chances are they'll go for that. And it'll last around 10 turns before expiring. But real good way to draw aggro. In place of metabolic control, we have haste. So you cast that. Assuming you had enough psi points. Which do I have? Well, anyway, I can't demo it, but it increases your speed by 2. So, could be very useful for the Murgi to go from one move per turn to 3. Suddenly you can run away from large proteans. You can move and close doors at the same time. Should be good fun. A few other changes. So Shutdown and Sabotage have been changed slightly. Sabotage does less damage now. It's just a smaller percentage of the mech's total HP is being taken. But Shutdown has been buffed. So originally it was just whatever your mecha ability was, that was your percentage for it to land. A lot of people don't know that. They think it depends on what kind of mech you're doing, but a Murgi Warbot has the same chance as a maintenance bot. That's been changed so that when you get Shutdown, it has a 64% chance roughly, going up to the 99 you get at 100. So it should be more useful. Let's see, anything else? All the hungry classes have had their hunger rate reduced a little bit. Not a ton, but enough to make them a little more fun to play. It seems like, I don't know, they weren't that fun because everything had to be about minimizing the amount of movement. And a number of other small things have been changed, but I don't need to go over those now. They're just minor tweaks to number of shots various things have, the ingredients that go into recipes, that sort of thing. Anyway, I think that about covers all the changes I had, so I hope you guys enjoy playing with it, and I will see you next time.